Hello again, I am Jim Bob, and welcome back to F1 Manager 23 on the PS5. Tonight it is round 12. We're heading to the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix. So normal service is kind of resumed. We're back to winning ways. Slightly more comfortable than we've been in the last few races. However, Aston Martin were very, very quick at Silverstone, specifically Fernando Alonso. Lance Stroll, one stop, didn't kind of work for him. But yeah, Alonso was a threat, which is definitely something we need to be very wary of. We've got some upgrades in the works, but we're not going to get them till Zandvoort. And if Aston Martin bring another upgrade for Spa, we could be in trouble. We could also potentially be in trouble here at Hungary as well. We'll have to see how they do. Let's take a quick look at where their car sits compared to ours. And that's quite surprising, actually, to see some of those differences. Although, having said that, looking at their downforce, yeah, it's not surprising to see why they were so quick. They don't quite have the same speed as us, their acceleration isn't as good, but they've got a very good DRS, and their downforce is excellent, just like ours. Their brakes are the best on the grid, so they're the team that have pipped us in brake cooling. I did wonder who it was, and that's Lance's car. My guess is that Alonso's car is not going to be quite as good. Let's have a look. Actually, it does look as though all the upgrades on Lance's car have now been applied to Fernando's car. That would make sense as to why Fernando was so quick in the last Grand Prix. And by default, car 1 on the AI teams always gets upgrades before the other team if there isn't enough time for them to produce sets for both cars before a race. So yeah, Fernando does have all the upgrades, and he is definitely going to be a threat in this race. If we just go back to our own car for a second, once again you can see the differences there. Not that horrific. You know, the speed is about 0.7 of a kilometre. Acceleration is minimal difference, despite the the ranking difference there. It's not that far off us, and they are very close in terms of cornering as well, as you can see. So yeah, Alonso is definitely going to be a threat in this Grand Prix again. Maybe Stroll. We shall see. We'll have to see how strategy plays out for Aston Martin. They split their cars at Silverstone last night. They went one on a one-stop, one on a two-stop. The two-stop was definitely the quicker of the options. Don't know what we're going to expect for tonight. Let's say hello to chat. We've got Victor, Reek, Mr. Water is in there, VXR is in there as well. Astons are coming for me. Yes, potentially they are coming for me. They, like I say, they were very quick at Silverstone. So, we have all the parts we need. We've actually got a little bit of money now. We're almost $1 million again, which is quite nice. This is how we're looking right now. We've got 2 research projects going, and we've got our 2 wings coming, the front and rear wing. As I say, we won't have those until Zandvoort. And we have got some suspensions being worked on and some side pods being worked on. These are just spares. We should have everything we need going into this Grand Prix. I'm looking there, we've got plenty of rear wings, plenty of front wings, enough chassis and side pods, enough underfloors and suspensions. Yeah, we should be good. So, let's set some targets for tonight's race. Actually, let's have a look at the weather. We've got a wet Friday, and then we've also got cloudy Saturday, and then a little bit of cloud, a little bit of sun on Sunday. So a bit of mixed conditions over the weekend. It is an ATA weekend as well. So when it comes to qualifying, we will be on the alternative tyre allocation rules. So hards only in Q1, mediums only in Q2, and softs in Q3. I'm going to be, let's see, all the qualifying positions already been set for us. It's the incentive, 2 in the top 4. Well, we just about managed that at the last race. Hopefully we'll be okay. We're going to get both cars into Q2 and both cars into Q3. That's not going to be an issue. Fastest lap is the incentive. We are going to go for 2 in the top 3 for tonight's race. And then we've got the streaks going. We're halfway through the finish streak, which is 2 in the top 6. That'll let us, and not a bad amount actually, 736, that's quite nice. And we're only 1 down on the quali streak, which is 2 in the top 4 for 5 races. Before we go any further, I do want to actually double check Ferrari as well, because they were looking a little bit better last time out. Let's see how they're looking now. And oh yeah, Ferrari could be a threat here as well. They are pretty quick. Their acceleration's good. Their DRS is decent. Their cornering is decent. Alright, let's take a look at Red Bull. And again, Red Bull are going to be up there as well. Their speed is decent. Acceleration is excellent. Cornering is decent to good. Dirty air tolerance is very good. DRS letting them down a little bit, but there is only the one DRS straight here, and most of the speed that you make on this lap is in the corners. So yeah, Red Bull could be a threat here as well. They are very close to us in speed. Maybe I need to be a little bit more conservative with our targets here. I mean, we should be okay, but I'm just going to play it safe. I'm going to say 2 in the top 4 in the finish position. Because, you know, that's potentially Sainz and Leclerc and Verstappen and Checo. And the Astons coming for us. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting race tonight, I think. Right, we've set our objectives. We've got all of our spare parts, etc., etc. Let's head to the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Welcome to the beautiful Three Springs Valley, here in Hungary. You're joining us in Budapest for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Budapest was formerly 3 cities, and today they're all coming together to kick off what we hope will be a thrilling weekend of racing. What on paper could be a low-speed circuit is turned flat out by modern Formula One cars. The Hungaroring short lap means track position is essential in qualifying, and drivers will need to be careful of track limits throughout the race. Lewis Hamilton marked the previous race with yet another win and proved that he still has the tenacity to succeed in this sport. Let's get on with the weekend.
Don't you just get that feeling when sometimes everything is against you, like Farah turns up and immediately the game starts talking about how good Lewis is? How you doing tonight, Farah? Let's see then. So, with a bit of wet practice, we are going to put Teo in the car. Put him in for George tonight. Let's swap out the parts before we go any further. Old engine. We are probably, it's not confirmed, but we are probably going to be running that penalty for George tonight to bring that new ERS unit into his pool, because as you can see, he's effectively running on just one ERS unit for the rest of the season at the moment. So we are probably going to be penalising him in this Grand Prix, and then we'll obviously try and work him back up through the field as quickly as we can. The other option is we wait maybe until Zandvoort if we don't have enough pace in quali. We'll see how we do in qualifying, and then we'll make the decision after quali. Obviously we've got those new wings coming for Zandvoort, so that might be a better time. We'll have to keep an eye out. Right, the run plan for Hungaroring is normally 20 laps because it's Teo. We're going to overfuel just in case he nails it on the first attempt. And let's do Lewis car parts. Let's put in the older engine. We'll leave that ERS unit in, and we'll leave that gearbox in. We forgot to change that for the race last night, and luckily it wasn't a factor. 20 laps there, dropping the pace. And now let's do the setups. So I have 5 to choose from. Let's start with a 9, a 14.5, a 1.9, a 3.25, and a 1. And we'll go a little bit different for Teo. We're going to go with a 10, a 15, a 37, a 2.75, and a 0.05. So very different setups there. And let's see if either of those works. Let's take a quick look at the weather as well before we send them out. Yeah, it's going to drop to inters very quickly. There's no point sending them out on full wets if it's going to immediately drop to inters. So we'll make the tyre switch now. They'll just have to chug along for a couple of laps until the water level drops.
That's loud and clear.
And it is looking very wet, isn't it? Right. Let's do the usual gubbins.
And avoid all curbs. Avoid all curbs. Okay.
I really hope they fix this horrible lighting issue on the little perspex screens. It really does ruin cockpit view for me. Mr. Watson watching at 144p. Yeah, that's never a good idea.
Okay. Just be mindful, pressure's still low.
And there you can see the water level is now plummeting. So Stroll and Verstappen looking very quick at the moment. Everyone's going to be on inters, I think. Oh, there are a couple still on wets. Yes, it's going to be a dry race, so we're not going to have to worry about the AI making some questionable tyre choices here. Now Leclerc's up there as well with Perez. Hulkenberg is up there.
Check.
Mind you, everyone's getting quicker because the track water level is really dropping. Right, first feedback is in, and that's an 83%. That's okay. Let's see what Teo's feedback is like. 88.
Balance check.
Could be better. Let's call Teo in.
Temperature okay? Surface temps are low all round.
Okay, right, what do we need to change? Cornering. So, let's have a look at what we've got in the book. What can we go to that's close? Okay, let's make that change. Let's go with a 9.5, a 15, a 2.8, a 3.1. Oh, gone the wrong way. A 3.1, and a 0.6. Let's have a look at what that does. That is a very negligible change on the oversteer. Small change on braking, decent change on cornering. That could work. We'll try that. Lewis is going to be out for another few minutes.
Updates on track conditions.
The track's going to stay wet. There we go, and we'll call Lewis in now. Okay, so we need a 15 rear wing on this. This also needs to be a... Actually, no, that doesn't need to be 2.8. I'm looking at the cornering. That needs to change. So, I am going to change that to a 2.8. And I'm going to pull that back. I'm going to have to wing this one, because I don't have anything close to it, by the look of it. I'm going to have to go back to a 1.9. Alright, we're going to try that. That is quite a big change. I suppose I could have looked at last year's book, couldn't I? Never mind, too late now. So with all these changeable conditions and the track getting really quick at certain points and then a lot slower at other points, we can't really read too much into who's going to top the leaderboards tonight. It's just if they were lucky enough to be on track at the right time. I wonder if it's going to rain in the next session as well, or if we're going to get a nice steady dry weekend from here on in. Saturday will certainly reveal a lot more about who's got the genuine pace. Remember, we're looking at both the Astons, both the Red Bulls, and theoretically both the Ferraris as well, although we know that Sainz does seem to struggle to qualify at the moment. They definitely look a little bit more competitive though, based on those numbers we saw before the race.
Just say what you'd like on the buttons.
Right, we've nailed Teo. That's excellent stuff. So we'll call him in. That is him done for this session. George will be happy. Getting his car back in perfect setup and in one piece as well. Nothing broken.
So rain is clear.
And it has now finally stopped raining.
Let's check.
And we nailed Lewis's setup as well. Wow, I'm pleased with that because we winged it completely on that one. So that's almost certainly going to go in the book. Well, no, definitely going to go in the book. I haven't got anything close to that. And we'll call him in. And that's practice one done. Alright. Excellent first session. So, with George back in the car, let's take a look at whether this is in the book or close to in the book. 951528. It's close. 951528 310.6. Oh, actually, it's already in the book. That's the most recent one I added. Excellent. So that one's already there. This one, though, is nowhere near the book. So we'll add this one for sure. 9, 15, 19, minus 3.4, and 1. Excellent stuff. Right, so run plan for a second session. Assuming it's going to be dry, we want to go, I think, 30 laps with Lewis. We'll go with the hard tyres. George is going to be on the hards. He's going to go for 44 laps. I'll drop Lewis's pace settings. No, I didn't. There we go. Right, let's send him out. I didn't check the rain, which is coming. Knackers. Alright, we're going to change the time. We'll put him on mediums. We'll save the hards. Especially if he's going to be starting at the back. The extra hards might be useful. Well, not the back, but yeah, mid-pack. And we've got the wet weather coming. It's going to be inters all the way again. Now wet enough, let's call them in.
Definitely feel like I got some damage.
That's ERS damage, okay, that's alright. I thought he'd broken part of the car for a second then. Even in harmony. Right, we are going to go onto the set of inters that we've already done a lot of work on.
Battery is seemingly
Knackers, that's an underused slang word. Oh, I love that. I love using that. I love using that word. In fact, no, this is the only rain of the weekend, so we may as well give them a fresh set of inters. And here comes George. And there we go. Nudges is another one. Yeah, I've not heard nudges in a long time. It doesn't get used that often anymore, I don't think. But that comes back from the days of the young ones, if not before. Maybe bottom. No, sorry, bottom. Maybe young ones. Young ones was first. I think they actually. I'm not sure. I know they did something together. You know, Rick Mail and Edmondson. That wasn't the young ones or bottom, but was from that kind of time period, or at least before bottom. I saw it pop up on YouTube the other day because I was watching some of their live shows again. I love bottom; it's fantastic. Well, that could be that could be cut into an interesting little soundbite. I love bottom. But no, I was watching Bottom Live 1, 2, 3, Hooligans Island. It's fantastic. You know, Hooligans Island's probably my favourite.
Are all the tyres on? Something doesn't feel right.
Copy that. We'll take a look.
But they did something. Was it the Danger Brothers, maybe? I can't remember what it was called. But it might have been between the young ones and bottom, or it might have been before the young ones. I'm not entirely sure. But they look very young. Very young. Dangerous Brothers. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Farah. I was close. I said Dangerous Brothers.
We've got a yellow
too
flag.
far off. I haven't watched that. I'll have to check that out at some point. I even remember watching the movie they did, Guest House Paradiso, as well, with appearances from Simon Pegg and Bill Nighy, the woman who played Simon Pegg's missus in Shaun of the Dead. Character names escaping me. Fenella Fielding was in it as well. I'm sure there was someone else I recognised from that. I can't remember. There was a third, another name that I recognised, or another face that I recognised. But yeah, it's interesting to see a very young Simon Pegg, in a role there as well.
You've taken the checkered flag.
Alright, some decent track knowledge gained. Now we're into dry weather running, which is good. We're going to go with those mediums again. We're going to save the hard tyres. We're going to try and get him to run for the entire session, but I don't think he'll have enough tyre life. I don't know, we'll see. We'll go 40 laps, that should be okay, I think. As for Lewis, we are going to run... Oh, we can run the hards again. And save the extra mediums. Well, Lewis is probably going to be near the front, so yeah, we'll do that. We'll go back on those hards again. And we'll run him for 28 laps, that should be enough. Please tell me I've seen bad news, more bad news, and Mr. Jolly lives next door. I possibly seen bits of a couple of them, but I haven't seen Mr. Jolly. I think I've seen a little bit of bad news. I'm not sure about more bad news. Alright, so now we've got some dry weather tyres on, we can get more of a picture of pace. Verstappen on the softs, he's the only one on the softs at the moment, and is obviously a second quicker than everyone else. Stroll is up there on the mediums. Perez is there on the mediums. Hulkenberg looking a little bit quick. Well, I say a little bit quick. He's half a second off Checo. There's Ocon throwing the Alpines up there. Nobody else going on the softs yet. Maybe they're saving them. One thing you will notice on this track as well is that pace can drop away quite quickly when the tyres start to wear. Which is another reason why I'm looking to try and keep those extra set of hard tyres for George. If he does have to fight his way through traffic, he's going to have to be aggressive, and yeah, that'll burn out mediums very quickly.
When you can, feedback on your tyres.
Tyres no good, to be honest.
Well, there we go. You've done a good session there, George. Both of our drivers will be going into this race with maximum preparation. Less important for Lewis, but definitely more important for George if he is going to be taking that penalty. We want him to be as quick as possible in quali. So Red Bull topping the timings in this session. Only two runs that I saw on the softs there, Verstappen and Bottas. No one else trying the softs. I'm surprised.
Hello and welcome to the much anticipated qualifying session.
This weekend, we're running on alternative tyre allocation rules, meaning teams will be constrained by the tyre compounds they can use for each period of qualifying.
In terms of Lance Stroll, how do you think he's doing, Karun?
They set a great lap in practice, so you can only imagine how good they're feeling going into qualifying. But the big question is, will they be able to keep this performance up?
You're going to want to join us for this, folks, so fasten your seatbelts.
Put some seatbelts on your ears, Roy, because I'm about to take them for the ride of their lives. Right, we're going to go with the 77% engine. We don't want to break out the other one just yet. We're going to hold off on the ERS, see how we do. And we'll go with that gearbox. And that engine. That ERS. And that gearbox. Okay, there we go. Right, drivers are set. Let's see. Are those used hard tyres still available for Lewis, I wonder? No, they're not. I didn't think they would be. Alright. Let's send them out for 2 flying laps. Yes, that is Moss talking to Roy. Evening F1 Clips.
Let's just focus on the outlap.
Understood.
We should do some work on the brakes.
Yeah, copy.
So we should comfortably get through this session. We're doing 2 laps rather than just 1 because these tyres are only going to get a run out here. So just make sure that we don't get any traffic issues.
Stand the delta.
George
Cool
has been
car,
stuck
Bottas.
behind, is that Bottas? No, it was Joe. George
if you
stuck
just
behind
get
Joe
that
for the
delta
entire lap there.
negative. Yeah,
Okay,
we'll
well,
box,
it's enough to
box
get through.
this lap.
14.6 and a 14.8, that's easily going to be good enough. Evening, Dan. Please skip practice so we can get more episodes. Do an episode every weekday, so yeah, that's enough, I think. Get more races per stream. These streams are, because we run the races in real time, we don't fast forward time during the races, so that means you're talking a minimum of 3 hours just on the races themselves, not to mention then you've got the qualifying and practice and all the prep that you do before the weekend and the kind of tidying up you do after the weekend. I don't want to do 5-hour live streams, It makes people who miss them less likely to want to try and catch up. A single self-contained 3-hour episode, I think, is fine. I mean, we're already halfway through season 2, so it's not like you're hurting for lack of content. Right, medium tyres. Again, the used tyres will not be available. I'm just going to try 1 lap on these tyres. Looks like we've got Alonso following Lewis out.
Careful with the warm-up.
Wake up those rear brakes.
Copy.
Yeah, Yeah, I forgot about that, Barry. That was season 1 of Williams on F1 22 when the car was so uncompetitive that it was just painful watching the car just pookle around at the back of the grid at half speed. That was the only reason why I did run at double speed, and then for season 2 onwards when we were competitive, normal speed. Right, let's see. Can Alonso beat Lewis on a lap? He can.
Get the delta negative.
So once again,
Box,
Alonso
box.
is going to be a threat in this race. That is very close between the two.
Just get that.
Oh, Russell
delta
goes quick.
negative.
That's encouraging to see. Alright, that should again be enough to get us through comfortably. Gasly's up there. Stroll needs to find a good lap because he is way off the pace right now. Let's see what Sainz does. He is 7th. It's going to be a tight session, this one, I think. We're into the nitty-gritty here. Stroll is on an out lap, so we're going to follow Stroll. He has the potential here to be the first big casualty. Norris goes purple in the first sector. Wow. Did not expect that. He's got clear run in front of him as well. No traffic. Stroll has improved in the first. Oh, there's a car warming up in front of him. That's a Williams. Personal best for Norris in the middle. I think there was a little delay for Norris there. Stroll is improving as well, but he's got traffic as well. Norris crosses the line and gets into P8. Now it's a potentially dangerous situation for Max, who is not improving. Stroll gets through. Max doesn't improve. Is anyone still on a flying lap? Ocon is. Just started a flying lap, but he's got a lot of cars in front of him. Albon is also on a flying lap. Oh, that's bad for Ocon. That's really bad. This middle sector is going to be a bust. Evening, Baron. Right, can Albon get himself into the top 10? He's had a clear track. He can't. He did improve. He must have got held in the first sector. What about Ocon? Oh, look how close he was. He was so close to getting through there. Verstappen hangs on by the skin of his teeth. Ooh, that was close. So we lose Ocon, Tsunoda, Albon, Magnussen and Zhou. But Max almost getting knocked out there. Right, we're on to the soft tyres. We've only got the one set available. We are going to do 2 flying laps, and we are going to wait until about 5.5 minutes to go, and then send our drivers out. So Leclerc sitting at the top with provisional pole right now from Alonso. Everyone else is a bit of a way off. And there we go, Alonso and Stroll now throwing himself up there. Send out George and send out Lewis. Gasly peels into the box. So, at the moment we've got clear track in front of both of our drivers for this first flying lap. Got a Red Bull about to leave the garage, but it won't get in the way of Lewis, I don't think. No, he'll comfortably get past him. So both drivers will get a clean flying lap here. That's important. And then a cool down lap and a second flying lap. Best for George. It's not purple. Lewis goes purple though. Still no read as to how fast George actually is here. But Lewis is purple in the middle. Lewis easy pole, maybe. I mean, we thought that last night at Silverstone, and then we didn't get on the front row. We take pole with Russell by 1,000th of a second, but Lewis is going quicker. And he is nearly 3/10 quicker. So that's looking very good for Lewis. But Russell should be on the verge. Yeah, there he sees borderline in peak confidence. I think Lewis might actually be there. No, he's at the same level. Leclerc is coming out to have another crack. Alonso will be out soon as well. The Red Bulls are on track. Are they starting their flying laps now? Or have they just finished? Oh no, they just finished. Wow. So Verstappen is 5th and not going to go any faster. Perez is on a flying lap.
You got a good gap ahead.
And now the Astons are coming out. One's already on track, the other one's leaving the garage now. That's Alonso.
So we've got clear track now. So you're good to go.
Behind Leclerc. And Stroll just exiting there. Let's see what Perez can do. Can Perez improve? He does. He gets ahead of Max. He's still half a second off Lewis. George is about to hit the back of Stroll here. He's not improved in the first sector. Leclerc starting his second flying lap. And so is Alonso now. Lewis hasn't improved in the first sector. Lewis has got an Alpine in the way. George improves in the middle. Lewis definitely getting held up there, has not improved in the middle. Can George wrestle pole away from Lewis? He needs a mighty final sector. He can't improve at all. He was down in the final sector as well, so...
Yeah, we're happy with that.
It's all down now to the Ferraris and the Astons.
So currently P1. So call the car on box.
Leclerc is going to be the first across the line.
Understood.
And he pull out something mighty. He improves. He goes to P2. He's going to start the front low. Alonso goes to P3. Ooh. Okay, what about Stroll? If Stroll gets in the top 3 or top 4, we're going to fail our sponsor objective. And Stroll doesn't improve. He must have got held up in that first sector, fighting his way through the traffic. Oh, he didn't improve anywhere, look. He was down in all 3 sectors. Norris is doing his best, but that's not bad for him. But there we go. That is the starting lineup, and it is going to be another interesting fight. Max was slower than I thought he was going to be. He's way off the pace. Checo is not that much better, so it looks like this is the 4-way fight. And with George taking a penalty, that's going to drop him down. Do I wait for the wings? What do you think, Farah? You're back in George this season. Should we wait for Zandvoort? Or should we take the penalty here?
Tension continues to build here as race day begins.
The heart may be in Budapest, but the racing soul is right here. Decades of F1 history saturate every turn of the Hungaroring, including the 1989 Grand Prix, where Nigel Mansell bullied his way from a P12 start to an ultimate victory. We've been having sunny weather here today, but there are some clouds looming that might complicate things for teams further down the line.
Well, as we can see, the crowd here at the Hungaroring are ready and waiting, so let's get the show underway.
Farah says put Lewis on wets. Yeah, that's not happening. Take the penalty at Spa? No, that's a terrible idea. I'm going to leave it as your call here, Farah. Why is it a terrible idea? Because given the pace of the Ferraris and the Red Bulls, and specifically the Astons, there's no way George is going to make those positions up and get back up to the front of the grid. Spa you can overtake. You can overtake here. You can overtake at Zandvoort. This game is not as realistic when it comes to overtaking as it could be. It's a lot more lenient when it comes to areas where you can't overtake. Don't want to mess with that. That's what I want to mess with. We'll go with 3 laps of fuel. Too much pressure. You want me to use my judgment, but be fair. I'm always fair when it comes to those decisions. The question is, I've got the 1 ERS unit, which theoretically will be fine for the next 2 races, but if we have an incident, then that will kind of force my hand, potentially, to have to take the penalty at Spa. Waiting for Zandvoort is a gamble. Zandvoort is probably a little bit harder to overtake at than here, unless you've got a nice tyre offset. But we will have new wings. Question is, will anyone else be bringing upgrades? I want that ERS in place before we hit Monza, because we might need it at Monza, and that's even worse for taking penalties. We're going to wait for Zandvoort, I think. We'll wait for Zandvoort and hope that the new wings will give him the edge that he needs. Right, let's have a look at strategies. There's only 2 to choose from. They're the same, just with the tyres in different orders. Let's see. Why have I only got 1 set of softs? That can't be right. Oh, wow. It's taken all my soft tyres. Oh, okay. So it's hards and mediums and nothing else, effectively. Ah, okay. That's not great. So, medium, hard, medium. Even in Marcel. Is Lewis in the same boat with soft? I think he is. I think it's just done that because of handing those tyres back during the wets. Yeah, the wet sessions. Crap. That's my fault for using the same sets of tyres again and not using different sets. Alright, well, no soft tyres available really for us this weekend. You'll be cheering on Bobby Jimmleton. For those of you wondering what he means by that, I came up with a whole list of Jim Bob names for almost the entire grid. And yeah, we renamed Lewis Hamilton Bobby Jimmleton in an attempt to try and get Farron to cheer him on. Right, setup. Let's do the setup on the wrong page. There we go. Right, so we're going to go with the same setup that we put on George. Medium, hard, medium. We have got extra hards available if there is an early safety car. Let's see how we do. 3 laps of fuel taken out. Change the pace settings. Save the ERS. First and fourth. Right, off to the grid.
There's a fantastic atmosphere at the Hungaroring as we prepare for 70 laps of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Our attention shifts to Lewis Hamilton and what he can produce in this race.
They're on pole and it's well deserved. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do.
But just what will happen here, your guess is as good as mine. And here we go with the Hungarian Grand Prix. And it's lights out.
Right, Leclerc is starting on the hards, which means he will be vulnerable to George. And Alonso's on the hards as well. Oh, and George's got stuck. He got boxed in. He almost got overtaken by Perez. And we've got a yellow flag. Something's happened on the first lap already. It's a big crash. It's holding up a lot of field. We might get a red flag. Nope, they're moving again.
Oh dear,
I thought we might get a red flag for a
There's
second.
been a crash.
So Albon involved. Just clunky, hitting this teammate, slowing down the whole field. So there's a big gap opening up already.
And not much.
Look how close that pack is there. And then a huge gap to everyone else. It's 5 seconds already. Evening Clark. Do I think Russell would have won the race at the weekend if he didn't crash? No. If he'd got past Norris through the new section of track a couple of laps before he crashed, then yes. If he'd been able to stick that overtake, yes, I think he would have won the race. But, with Carlos deliberately backing up to keep giving Norris the DRS, no. It was too much. Right, Leclerc has overtaken Hamilton. But that's okay, because we're not using battery yet. Perez up to third. He's jumped Russell and Alonso. We missed that. So Russell is down to fifth. Alonso is down to fourth. Perez is on those hard tyres. Perez could be a factor this weekend. Right, we need to clear these guys quickly and break away from them, because otherwise our strategy could potentially be in trouble, given that they're on hard tyres and we're on mediums. Looks like we're struggling a little for pace at the moment. That's because I'm not using the battery. I'm deliberately waiting until the DRS kicks in. Then we're going to start pushing hard to get past and break away. Use the battery to break away from cars that will be in recharge mode. Just got to make sure George doesn't drop off too far. And Perez attacking Hamilton now. He's going to get through. We're going to turn on the batteries now.
Use the overtake. Yep.
So we've got another lap without DRS. It won't kick in until this point on the next lap.
DRS has been enabled. Currently P3. So we've got Perez as the car ahead.
There we go. That will be Lewis easily through. And now you'll start to see him make some quick gains on Leclerc. Same with Russell. We should see him start to push his way through quite quickly now.
Just show me what you've got then.
Okay.
Just going to hold that battery back until we get towards the end of the lap.
Yeah.
Same with Lewis.
Let's just work on getting that pack back up.
Understood.
We have dropped Perez. Just about. Nope, no, he's just sneaking back in. All right, let's see if we can actually drop him for real. I think we did. And we'll absolutely blitz past and away from Charles Leclerc here. Russell got a bad exit there. Russell's getting stuck behind this fight between Alonso and Perez. This isn't good. One have a lunge in the braking. Ah, ooh, ooh, ooh.
There seems to
That
be
was
some
close.
great crowd of resistance.
Need to get past one of these two very quickly before we run out of battery. Need to get onto the back of Leclerc pretty quick. So Lewis is scampering off into the distance. This is already looking like it's going to be his race at the moment in terms of the battle between our two drivers, because George is just stuck at the moment. But as I say, we're on a different strategy here. We're on an offset. We're on the mediums, they're on hard, so it's unsure as to which is going to be the better strategy. Right, there we go. We've got past one. Perez won't have DRS here, so we should be able to nail him quickly as well.
Nice one.
Nice job.
There we go. And let's go into top up now, and we'll try and charge up behind Charles Leclerc. Drop the pace settings down now. Let's look after the tyres a bit better.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Increasing lifting coast just a little.
I wish Lewis and Russell swapped positions in the previous race at Zandvoort. Sorry, at Singapore. Well, I don't think George deserved to lose his position. I think, you know,
So happy to
I don't
push
think
now.
Lewis would have done that much better. I mean, he might maybe have done it, but he might not. And then you switch him back again afterwards, you know. I mean, it's not unheard of. Lewis has done that with Valtteri in the past. You know, he's asked for the position, tried to find a way through, and then when he didn't find a way through, he gave the position back to Valtteri on the last lap. But yeah, it's tricky to do that in a situation when you're so close to fight for the win. You know, it's a little unfair, I think. Who's to know that if you had switched them over and Lewis got through, who's to know that, you know, George couldn't have done the same? I mean, obviously we know he didn't, but different circumstances. No, I don't think swapping them was the right idea. I mean, there was no massively clear difference in pace between the two of them. Lewis was maybe a fraction quicker, but not quick enough to justify making the switch. George deserved every opportunity to try and get through.
Overtake available.
Copy.
Right, so hopefully Russell will be able to get past Leclerc here with a double DRS, despite being in charge mode. He's looking for it. Couldn't quite get it, so we'll leave him in charge mode for the next lap as well, and then we'll just sprint him once we get round to the start-finish straight again. He'll have enough battery by then, I think, to pull away as well. Just got to be wary because Perez is pushing. He's looking to retake third place. Lewis 3.5 seconds ahead of Leclerc now, but again, different tyre strategy. No guarantees that he's just scampering off for the win. We see any soft tyre usage from the AI. I've got to imagine they're going to have soft tyres available. We don't really. Alright, so let's get him past.
Need to start reducing that management.
Yep.
Around the outside, DRS opens up wide, batteries deployed, tyres are turned up, and that is see you later, Charles.
Here we roll.
That's how we roll.
tyres, John. Currently P2.
So now we're going to break him clear till he runs out of battery, and then we'll turn his tyres and fuel back down again and start charging his battery again. It's going to be about a second and a half off Hamilton, I think, by the end of the lap. That's it, no more battery.
Let's just manage these tyres.
So, yeah, about a second and a half off of Hamilton, not too far off that. 2 seconds over Leclerc as well. Surprised Alonso is struggling here at the moment. Maybe Aston just doesn't like the hard tyres as much. Sainz is down in 9th. Norris has dropped. Oh, he's dropping like a stone. Down to 13th now. Ah, there's some soft tyre runners. Look, Albon, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Piastri, and Schumacher at the back. And some mediums smattered in there as well. Norris is on the hard, so yeah, he's gonna be vulnerable to that chasing pack. If he can't stay with Magnussen, he's going to be vulnerable to Tsunoda and then potentially Bottas and Joe, but I think he should be safe from them. I think he'll have enough pace in the car. Let's take a look at tyres. So we are just under the wear line, but that's okay. We've got a little bit of leeway on this opening set. Check lap times. Just a tenth quicker on that last lap. We're 6 tenths faster than Charles at the moment. Gap's up to 2.8. Although that might be because Leclerc is having to defend against Perez, and Alonso is having to defend quite vigorously against Stroll. Verstappen has now closed back into DRS range, and he's brought Ocon along with him as well. And then there's Sainz and Gasly a little bit further back. Are we the only ones in the top 10 running on mediums? No, Ocon's running on mediums. So Ocon could be a threat to all three of the cars in front of him here, actually. If he can get past Max quickly, he could maybe sneak his way past one of the Astons. And if he gets into the position where he's second in the DRS train, he'll be off. He'll get the overtake done on the main straight and then potentially disappear off into the distance. Or, if he hasn't quite got enough pace to pull away, he's going to drag these four cars onto the back of Perez. Leclerc has actually upped his pace. He has closed the gap. He's pulled away from Perez. Leclerc on a push lap. As we look to see Ocon having a look. Dives up the inside of Max there. Can he do the same to Stroll? No. Oh, yellow flag. And that is another Williams. It's Tsunoda this time.
Let's see what
Big
happened
lockups.
there.
Drops into the back of the
Here we
grid.
go, heading into turn 1.
Clean air. No one around him. Not under threat.
Oh, and
just
the car
made a
locks up.
mistake.
They took a gamble, and it was just too late.
And then the racing line was filled up. Slipping back again, so he's obviously stopped pushing. did enough to break away from Perez. Can Perez close him back down again? And this fighting is definitely hurting the Astons. They're 2 seconds off the back of Perez now. And obviously, as you can see, riding on board, we are with Ocon, who is in the fight. He's in the picture. And this is hurting him now because he's stuck behind cars and he's probably got a little bit more pace than at the moment. It's going to hurt his tyres the longer he stays here. He's trying to break away from Sainz. And has just about got out of DRS range. Russell is closing on Lewis as well. And they're under no instruction at the moment in terms of, you know, stay behind. They are free to fight. Just going to make sure that they don't kill each other. Now you can see George has got into peak confidence. Just about. Lewis a little bit further off. But yeah, Russell is closing the gap ever so slightly. Very, very similar lap times last time round, but the gap is 1.2 seconds now. We might have a fight on our hands after all. Stroll is just about on the edge of DRS range, and this could leave him very vulnerable to Ocon here. Alonso has caught Perez as well. I think Stroll has missed DRS here. He has. Ocon's going to make a move. Alonso is having a look at Perez. Oh, and he's locked up. That's a big lock-up. Can he get going before Albon comes through? No, he can't. Oh, this is disaster for Alonso. And he gets going ahead of Piastri, but that's a huge loss for Alonso there. What's it done to his tyres as well? It has taken a little bit out of his tyres, about 4% maybe. I think that's taken Alonso out of contention. So now Leclerc and Perez are the threat. See how quickly Alonso can fight his way through the field. He's got a very, very painful afternoon's work to come. Back to the battle for third, fourth and fifth. Perez just getting into DRS range of Charles Leclerc. Stroll closing on Ocon. We can have a look into turn 2. He's thinking about it. He's making a move. Can he complete it? He does, he closes the door. Guess that move's done, but he will be vulnerable on the next lap. Ocon immediately trying to retake the position. Perez is through against Leclerc. And looking to scamper away, he's still pushing. And Stroll is closing on the back of Leclerc. So Leclerc's on a slow lap. Perez is on a quick lap. I think Stroll is as well. And Ocon has obviously got the pace to go with him. Is Leclerc going to be able to hang on to DRS here? No, he's not. And Stroll might just have taken it. He did. So Leclerc could be vulnerable into turn 2 now. Also looking to get past Magnussen. Is he going to go around the outside? That's a brave move. He's got it done. So Alonso back up to P12. There's George. Perez under 3 seconds behind now. And our tyres are at the point where their pace is dropping off. You can see we did 120.7, 120.8. And Perez on 119.0. That is quick. Nearly 2 seconds a lap faster. Don't think he'll be quite that quick this lap. Here's our pace right now. 120.9 and 120.7. Perez on 120.8. Yeah, we're reaching that crossover point where our tyres are about to be less competitive. However, we're in the pit window, so we're actually going to turn the tyres up. And I'm also going to stop the fuel save a little bit.
And happy to pick up the pushing level.
Yeah, copy.
Just let our drivers try and
think about this lifting post.
extend the gap slightly before the pit stops. Alonso took a second out of Albon on that last lap. Yuki's a long way back. He must have boxed already. Let's take a look at tyres. Yeah, he did. He's gone onto a set of hard tyres. Hamilton seems a little bit more comfortable than George at this pace. Stroll is past Leclerc. We missed it, but Stroll has got through and he's on the back of Perez. So at least one Aston is looking to go on the attack at the moment. Max has got back past Ocon. And Leclerc seems to be dropping off. Yellow flag.
We've had a big crash here. So
okay, where is that? Sector 1. It's got to be turn 2. It is. It's Piastri, and which pass is that? That's Hulkenberg. Of course it's Hulkenberg. It's always Hulkenberg. And that's a penalty for Oscar. Whether he causes the crashes or not, Hulkenberg is almost always involved. Perez is going to get got here. Verstappen is going to get through against Leclerc as well. So Max has suddenly found some pace. And you see he steps out. He's making the move now. Perez has got Stroll covered into turn 1. He's going to be vulnerable into turn 2. Albon boxes, and he's got that penalty. And now Magnussen boxes as well, so the soft tyres are getting rid. Perez stays ahead, but Max is through. And Ocon's tyres are failing. He's dropped way off the back. In fact, Sainz is actually closing him down slightly. Okay, we're going to box one of our drivers at the end of this lap, I think.
Lewis, so it's hammer time. Understood.
And box, 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 box.
So this lap.
Let's push and get past him.
There we go, pit stops are programmed in.
Yeah, stop.
Somehow Perez is hanging on here.
And just have a think about getting the pack back up.
Yep.
So here we go, and Lewis's first stop. Let's keep it nice and clean, please, boys. It's not bad, but it's not quick enough.
Just be careful, traffic, pit exit.
Where are we going to come out? We're going to come out behind Gasly, I think. Yeah, nice. Okay, that's not too bad. We've got some clean air to drop into.
So no need to charge the pack. Okay. Yeah, we just need
Russell
to
has
make
got
sure
the gap
that,
up to 6.5
that time.
seconds over Perez
Yep.
now. This push pace has definitely helped open that gap up. Stroll still all over the back of him. Leclerc has caught back up. Ocon dropping further and further behind. We're going to see Ocon boxing soon, I think. Maybe this lap. And here comes George.
So we're going to have to introduce a little bit of management.
There we go, 2.08, that's the quick stop.
Just keep an eye on your mirrors.
Oh, this is going to be close. This is going to be very close.
Just reduce your speed.
Roger.
So, George needs to get his tyres up to speed as quickly as possible. Hamilton will look to make the move on Gasly at the end of this lap. Oh, an issue for Bottas.
So Alfa Romeo's crew are out. Oh, they just can't get the front left tight enough.
It's getting quite tight at the front again. First four all in a train. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Who is that? Where is that? Someone to the spin. It's not one of my drivers. It's Schumacher. Mick has dropped it, trying to find a way past his teammate. He's kept it out the barrier, but only just. Oh, and Stroll's in the box. So Stroll is going for an undercut. He's going for another set of hard. Interesting. Hamilton's past Gasly. And there is Alonso. So Alonso is a whole pit stop down on his teammate here. And the last thing Stroll needs is to get stuck behind his teammate on old hard tyres. And Alonso's through. Oh, that's a disaster for Stroll. Meanwhile, back to the front, we've got Max just about clinging onto the back of Perez, who looks like he's pushing. Maybe Max is going to box. Leclerc still in DRS range. Ocon nearly 4 seconds off them now, and Sainz just 2 seconds behind Ocon. He's closing him in. And Perez is in. And so is Ocon. I'm surprised Ocon didn't box earlier, to be honest. It's a good stop. It's a very good stop. Ocon's going on to soft. He's got to be going medium soft hard then. He's got to be. Ocon's going to be very quick on this stint. Very quick indeed. George has still not got his tyres warmed up. He should warm up this lap though. Surely. Hamilton now is on the back of Sainz. Another yellow flag. Perez running wide. Oh!
Now we're at turn 11 now. And nearly, just running wide. That won't do the floor of the car.
Oh, so Perez boxed and came out just in front of the Astons, but is now behind them both. Stroll has got through and is now a second and a half clear of Alonso. So he's got that clean air that he needs. As Hamilton goes past Sainz. George's tyres are finally warmed up.
This is awesome work, Lewis. Come on. Look at this. So that's a P3.
Lewis into peak confidence. Just. Russell a little way off. But he's in DRS range of Gasly, so he should be able to get the move done on Gasly now. And if Gasly keeps closing on Sainz, he might be able to do a twofer. Bottas goes fastest to 1:18.0. 2 seconds faster than Hamilton's going at the moment. Although Hamilton will be quicker this lap. Now he's got his clean air. As Max dives into the box. Mediums for Max. Russell looking to go around the outside. Gasly has the DRS, but I think he's got him. He has. And straight onto the back of Sainz, who's struggling right now.
That was a nice move. Good job.
This, meanwhile, is 6 seconds off the back of Leclerc, and I'm starting to wonder, is Leclerc thinking about a one-stop? If he is, he's got to go a long way still on these tyres. These tyres are at 50%. He could probably squeeze another 10 laps out of those tyres if he really wants to try and squeeze them for the one. Will leave him vulnerable to the potential of punctures. And he's considerably slower than Lewis, as you can see. This has been the season of Sainz struggles so far. Yeah, he's just not looked on it this year, has he? Although he was pretty good at Silverstone. Russell all over the back of him. Surely he's going to get him on this bit here.
There seems to be some great loads of resistance.
At the inside. No, Sainz holding on for dear life. There you can see Leclerc is doing a 1:21.1, Hamilton a 1:19.8. He's 1.3 seconds faster. Sainz pushing as hard as he can, trying to stay ahead of Russell. Alonso still hasn't stopped either. He's going to drop down the order when he makes his stop. He's probably going to drop down to around where Albon is. Oh, and there goes Sainz into the box. So that is Russell released. Does Russell get the DRS? No, he doesn't. Oh, it's a bad stop. There's a delay on the jacks. Sainz's afternoon goes from bad to worse.
Shandong, talk us through this one.
We saw the Ferrari pit crew already, but they run into trouble and it holds up their stop.
And is that Haas mechanic? There's Alpha mechanics coming out in the background, so we might see. No, it can't be. Their cars are looking fine. Must be a Haas mechanic then. Yeah, Hulkenberg's in. There he is. Right, so George is through. He's released and unleashed. Which, you know, when you push the two words together, is released, I think. He's pulling away from Gasly. Is he closing on Lewis? We'll find out at the end of this lap. Lewis still hunting down Charles, who hasn't boxed yet, and now he does. So here is Leclerc. Will Ferrari get their act together for this stop, or are they going to mess this one up as well? There's Lewis. That's clean, and that's medium tyres for Leclerc. So this is where the offset and strategy is going to start coming into play. Stroll gets past Gasly with a 1:18.0. Mighty lap from Ocon, a 1:17.1. I said he was going to be quick on those softs. 1:17.1 is 2.5 seconds faster than Charles. Sorry, 2.5 seconds faster than George. It's nearly 3 seconds faster than Lewis. And we've saved enough fuel, so we can turn the fuel saving off.
And we can drop the lift to coast for now and we can upgrade
And
it.
now our drivers are in clean air. We can actually get them to have a push lap
Use
as
the
well.
uptake.
See what they're capable of.
So happy to push now.
Okay.
Stroll is keeping that gap close. It's only 2.5 seconds off of Russell. You have to watch out for Stroll. There he is. He is close. Right, what can our drivers do with a little bit of tyre push and some battery deployment? As Norris pits from P10. Solid stop. Puts his cards for a set of mediums. He's going to come out in 13th. Alonso still yet to stop. And he's being dropped by Perez now. Being caught by the Ferraris as well. Sainz is out of this race, I think, with that delay on his pit stop. He's 10.5 seconds off the back of his teammate. It is looking like... Is Max boxed yet? Yeah, Max is boxed. So it's... wow, Max is a long way ahead of Perez. Oh no, he's only 4. Yeah, he's only 4 seconds ahead. But he missed the start of the race. What happened? Big lockup for Alonso in turn 1. About halfway through. Well, no, not halfway through, but early into his first stint, dropped him way out of position. But he's just thrown on a set of softs. He's going to come out just about level with Albon here. That's when he gets past, but he gets out in front of Magnussen. How quickly can he switch those tyres on? And how long can he take those tyres before they drop off? Our drivers are pretty much out of battery now. Let's put them into top up.
Charge the pack.
Alright, copy that. So we're low on battery at the moment.
Understood.
And we're in the 117s as a result of that little bit of pushing. Actually, that's pretty encouraging to see 117.3 on the previous lap to the ones that we've just done. Using just aggressive push on tyres, no fuel push, and battery deployment. You know, we weren't far off the fastest lap. We're only 0.3 off. So, when we go onto our set of mediums at the end, we should be comfortable for taking the fastest lap. As Gasly boxes. Gasly has gone mediums. And he is going to get out ahead of Alonso. Just as Alonso opens his rear wing and completes the move on Albon there. Alonso is going to be very quick on this set of tyres, and they're warmed up as well. Gasly's are not. How's it looking for the Mercs finishing first and second? We should be able to do it, but it's difficult to say because we're on an offset strategy. We started on mediums. Almost everybody else in the top 10 started on hards. Now we're on the hards, they're on the mediums and softs, so they're going to start closing us down again. Sainz went hard, so he could be going soft tyres at the end. Here comes Alonso. And I think he might just take DRS from Gasly there. It's going to be really close between the two. He did. Oh, that's it. That's game over for Gasly. Alonso's off into the distance. Hamilton taking the point to Russell. Yes, he has had a bit of an easier time. Russell got caught up in a little bit of traffic at the start. Took a few extra laps to get through. Did get the gap down to about 1.2 seconds, but has dropped off since the pit stop.
Just need to make sure keep these tyres in good nick. Okay.
As we approach half distance in the Grand Prix. We have opened that gap up to Stroll a little bit. Ocon is hunting him down, but he's under pressure from Max, and that's a new fastest lap for Charles Leclerc, 1:16.9. I think Alonso could possibly beat that on this lap. He's coming around the corner now. Sainz crosses the line. What does Alonso do? A 17.2. So he wasn't far off. Our pace is going to drop down again now that we've turned the tyres back down to normal. Hamilton crosses the line. 1:19.1. What about Russell? The same. Just a couple of tenths faster than Stroll. Okay, Max a 1:19.0. Could Ocon retake that position? Have a look at the inside at turn 2 here. Gets it done. Leclerc is on a charge as well. There he is, closing that gap down. You've noticed the steering seems very notchy. Well, yeah, I mean it's not flawless. Assuming that the AI is continually trained on these circuits between versions, then we should hopefully see smoother cornering, in some circumstances. But as each iteration of the game comes out, but it's a simulation. It's we have no control here, so. I think that's what a lot of people forget about this. They expect it to be flawlessly smooth, and it's not, because it's a live simulation kind of thing, a bit like Championship Manager and Football Manager. Those football games are not FIFA level smooth and glorious. No one complains about them. Just because of the visual presentation of this, people expect it to be flawlessly smooth in the lines. And, yeah, it'd be nice if it was that, but it's not quite there yet. And like I said, hopefully they'll keep training the AI between each iteration. Is closing. Hamilton's extended the gap slightly more to Russell. He's up to just over 4.1 seconds now. Stroll still dropping back just a touch, so at the moment we're looking good against Stroll, whose tyres are slightly worse than ours. Ocon still closing on Stroll. In fact, Stroll had a bad lap there. What if he's charging up? Leclerc is also, lapping quite quickly on those mediums. He is almost on to the back of Verstappen now. So finally bringing themselves back into the picture a little bit. Ocon's tyres are going to be falling away soon, and he's definitely going to be vulnerable. Although if Max gets through here, he's going to give the DRS to Ocon on the main straight. See, in reality, Max would not have made the overtake there. He'd have waited until the main straight. That is one aspect where the AI is severely lacking, in the sense that it pushes overtakes through at the earliest opportunity and doesn't necessarily think the way a racing driver would, where it's like, do I make the overtake on this corner right before the DRS detection point and then give my opponent the DRS to go swooping back past me, within 10 seconds. Real racing drivers weigh up those calculations and always just decide to wait. The AI just goes, right, full speed ahead. And it can be frustrating when it's your drivers that are doing that, where they make the overtake and it's like, why are you overtaking now? And you have to deliberately just try and slow them down so they don't overtake before the DRS line. But you're always going to have that in a simulation aspect. As Leclerc has gone onto the back of these two now. And with Ocon's tyres fading and Leclerc's in very strong shape, I have to say it's not going to be long before Max drops Ocon and then Leclerc will swoop straight past him. He's got enough grip left to hang on to the back of Max, but the second he loses that DRS, he's toast. Now you can see, look, in the corners, this is where that lack of grip is now going to start really hurting him. He almost got retaken just in that corner. Ooh, yellow flag.
Got a yellow flag.
Who and where?
There's a yellow flag now.
Oh, Alonso's crashed. He just drops it behind Sainz, and that is damage. That's front wing damage and tyre damage. Alonso's afternoon going from bad to worse. He has taken a little bit off his left front wing end plate there. What's he done to his tyres? Yeah, he's done a little bit of damage to them as well. So that's Alonso well and truly done this afternoon now, I think. If he's got another set of hard tyres, he could box very soon for those. See if he stays out. It's not massive front wing damage, but it is some damage. That end plate's lost about a third of its surface. And yeah, I'm surprised it's Alonso making the mistakes. Yeah, that big lockup. The Aston's got the best brakes on the grid right now, so That's definitely driver error rather than, overheating brakes. Russell is closing the gap on Lewis. Down to just 3.3 seconds now. And there's a big load of traffic coming up as well. This could play a factor in the gap. Oh, wow. Ocon has actually caught the back of Stroll. I didn't think he'd have enough pace left to do that. Leclerc all over the back of Max. We've got a four-way fight for third again. Stroll gets DRS off the back of is that Piastri? Yeah, that's Piastri. But yeah, that DRS for Stroll has just given him that little bit of a breathing room against Ocon, and now I think Ocon's going to drop back. I think he had his chance and he's blown it, and now his tyres aren't going to be able to keep him in range. There, 36%. We might see Ocon boxing this lap. He's already lost 4/10 since the beginning of the lap. He's bleeding time all over the lap here. Ricardo boxes. That's one less car for Lewis to have to fight against. Ocon stays out. That's what he's got available in terms of other tyres, but now Max is in range. Stroll gets DRS again, this time on the back of Schumacher. Stroll's off. I think Stroll's pushing. He must be. 117.9, yeah, he's pushing. As a result of Ocon's tyres going and Stroll charging, the gap's up to 3.3 seconds. And this is hurting Max and hurting Leclerc. They're stuck behind a slow Alpine, who still isn't boxing but will get DRS off the back of the AlphaTauris here, I would imagine. So that might make it tricky for Verstappen to get past again. This is working beautifully for Stroll. Not so well for Max or Charles. Right, we're due to stop on lap 49. Lap 48 with Lewis, lap 49 with George. Ocon's tyres now in puncture territory. Surely he's boxing this lap. As Zhou boxes. That's again one less car for us to worry about overtaking. Russell coming like a bat out of hell. He's actually dropping back. He's lost about half a second over the last few laps. Last couple of laps. As Ocon does finally box. What tyres is he going on to? Is he going mediums or is he going hards? As Leclerc now makes a move on Max. They're going to get him into turn one as we go hard tyres with Ocon. Clean stop. Leclerc is through. He's got better tyres than Max as well. Quite considerably better tyres. should theoretically see him pull away now. Try and hunt down Stroll. 4 seconds between them. Russell now 4.6 seconds behind. Where does that come from? There's no cars behind that would have gone in the way. He hasn't reached the back of the Williams yet. That gap has just rocketed up. Either Lewis has had a really good lap, or more likely Russell's just had a really bad lap. Let's check the timings across the line here. Oh, 1:18.6 for Lewis. He must have maybe got DRS off the back of Joe on the previous lap. Yeah, that's a big difference. And we're into the pit windows, so it's time to turn the tyres back up again.
Just push. That's it.
Batteries are almost fully charged again. What's my dream driver lineup on the game? I don't really have a dream driver lineup. I tend to go with themes when I build teams, so if I was going to go with Haas, then I would look to try and get Logan Sargent and Jack Crawford in the team. If I was going to go Ferrari, I would consider an all-Italian driver lineup. Just go full Italy, which would probably be a bad thing, but that would mean, you know, training up some very young reserves. There's a couple of decent young Italians which aren't really available until the end of season 2, because they're still only in their second season at the moment.
It's not going to be
one of them is Mini, and is it Bortorelli? Yeah, I can't remember the name of the second one. I'll point him out if you remind me at the end of the game. Alpha, I mean, we could do a prepping for the Audi takeover, and we could go for German drivers, so that would be Schumacher and Hulkenberg, with some other young German drivers brought up through the reserve system. So that is Norris. No, that's Piastri. Ah, Piastri's crashed.
Right, we're taking the second corner. Just flies into that crash. That will have knocked their confidence.
He's broken his front wing. That's not good. See, I don't go for the very best drivers, because you want the best drivers to be your competition. Otherwise, if you have Max, it's going to be too easy. Norris is an exceptional young driver with plenty of room to grow. You put him in the top car and he's going to be winning like crazy as well. So yeah, you want those drivers to be in competitive cars that you don't control, so that you have competition to race against. You don't want to take the best drivers and stick them in the best car, because then the races become very boring. If you haven't got a great car, there's nothing wrong with great drivers. They can be immense at propelling you up the grid further than you probably should be getting until you can actually start developing the car. I mean, putting Bottas and Alonso in Alpha Tauri in season 1 is perfectly viable financially. You can just about do it, and you will reap the positional rewards for that first season. But it comes at a financial cost. So medium tyres going on, and a new front wing going on for Alonso. Shot looks relatively clean. Where is he going to come out? He's going to come out ahead of Bottas, just. How far behind Norris is he? Oh, got a yellow flag. Carlos Sainz running wide.
Now this is what happened as they took turn 8. Oh, we've seen a few go off the track there.
That's
Really,
a very
they must be
interesting
careful.
interpretation of the racing line there. Right, so he is nearly 20 seconds behind Norris. Has Norris got to stop again? Probably yes. So, but I would say almost certainly yes, he's going to be stopping again. So Alonso might still get points, but Norris is probably going to be boxing onto a set of softs, unless he boxes very soon. Right, let's box Russell this lap.
Let's give it everything we got.
Copy.
We'll box Lewis on the next lap. Oh, I forgot to box him.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Okay, let's box Russell on this lap. Whoops. And we'll box Lewis on the next lap. So new set of mediums, pit next lap. Confirm.
Okay, let's see what you got then.
Yeah, Roger.
Box.
Copy, box.
Max boxes.
Keep pulling the gap.
And Leclerc is on the back of Stroll. We'll cut to that in just a second. Hard tyres for Max. Did not expect that. And Stroll just hanging on. If you wanted to absolutely obliterate your competition and mercilessly crush them, then I would say probably Leclerc and Verstappen would be the ideal lineup, because they're both young, both exceptionally talented. Put them in a season 1 Red Bull and yeah, you're going to win every race. Oh, it's a bad stop for George.
Put that buffer there.
Apologies. Yeah, just keep an eye on your mirrors for cars coming.
And that's allowed Perez through. Oh, we would have got ahead of Perez if it hadn't been for that issue.
Let's just manage these tyres.
Copy.
Just reduce
Leclerc's
speed.
boxed, and he's gone for a set of mediums as he gets past Sainz. Stroll has boxed, and he's come out behind Sainz. Can Sainz play the wingman here for Charles Leclerc? And there's Verstappen stuck behind Gasly. Do drivers actually retire in game? Yes, they do. We might see Hamilton retire this season. You never know. 2.03. That is the fastest stop of the Grand Prix, I
So
think.
remember, white line on exit.
Perez boxes behind us. Russell is all over the back of Ocon as he comes around to start the lap. There he is.
Yeah, we just need to
Clean
make
stop
sure
for
that,
medium
that we'll
tyres
clip
for
on the
Perez.
tyre. Understood.
Russell is through.
Okay, good job.
And that's that night, folks. Yeah, it's looking like that's going to be the result now. Gap is 6.6 seconds. Russell's tyres are a little bit warmer, so he'll get up to pace a little bit quicker, and that gap will come down a little bit. I am going to push them for the fastest lap in a moment as well, which Ocon still holds. And Ocon is going to the end, but he's not going to have the pace to stay with George after this lap. So next lap we're going to push both drivers for the fastest lap. Get down to 6.3. Sides boxes. He's going hard as well. Only going to do 18 laps. Interesting tyre strategy again from some of the AI teams here. About 19 laps. But. And he's going to get out just in front of Norris. No, just in front of Alonso. That's Piastri behind, I'm looking at on the radar. Norris has still got to stop again. Alonso should be going to the end.
So head down. Yep. Use the overtake.
Well, we managed to get out the into turn one before Hulkenberg got there. That's always good. Lewis did have the benefit of getting a DRS overtake at the end of well, at the start of the lap, which is why he's got purple in the first. Let's see what happens in the middle. George goes purple in the middle. Have they got enough battery for another lap? Just about. It's going to be close. I don't think they'll set a fastest lap.
You are the fastest man
on the next lap, but we'll try. We'll give them 2 laps of pushing. This will give Russell some DRS on the opening straight. So Hamilton's got the fastest lap right now, which is a 1:14.7. Yeah, beat that. The rest of the field. A 1:15.2 for George. That DRS on the opening straight really did make the difference, didn't it? George was quicker in the middle and the final sector. And he's now purple in the first. I think they might run out of battery just at the end of the lap, or just before the end of the lap here. Lewis goes purple in the middle. George doesn't, but he does improve. And that's it, no more battery. 1:15.1. And George does take the fastest lap, a 1:14.75. Wow, that was close. That's the gap there, 1:14.75 against a 1:14.78. That is so close, but that's it. You know, neither driver has got anything left to push with, so let's calm down the cars.
50 metres at the most.
Refill those batteries.
Need to make sure we keep these tyres in good nick.
Save the fuel that they burnt off. Norris boxes now from 9th.
Let's get to some management, turn 5.
There's Sainz. You can see Alonso sweeping round in a moment. That's Piastri. There's Norris. Sorry, there's Alonso. Is it going to be soft tyres? It's got to be soft tyres. Sure, it's mediums. It should have been softs. Only 16 laps to go. He just dropped to 144 pp. Again there, Mr. Water. We're actually coming up to lap Magnussen. And Ocon is still in 3rd. He's not going to catch us, so we are clear to the line now. It's now a question as to who's going to win the battle for 3rd. Stroll and Leclerc are coming, and oh, that's a quick lap from Perez. What tyres is he on? He's on mediums. It's a very quick lap. So we potentially, Max isn't too far off as well. He's on hards though. He might get dragged along a little bit and be lucky in that respect, but I think it's going to be between Perez, Stroll, Leclerc and Ocon. We've got a four-way fight for 3rd. Oh, your broadband's gone down completely. Oh. Yeah, that's not good.
And think about left lifting coast.
Okay. Look after the cars a little bit more. Gasly boxes. Surely he's got a set of softs that can do 14 laps. Yes, there we go. Again, someone who's really going to attack on the closing laps. Clean, quick stop as well. He's going to come out behind Alonso, but he's going to be quick. He's a long way clear of Norris. Apparently it's all over the country. Yeah. Yeah, you can say what you want about Virgin and their awful customer service. They're generally pretty good. I mean, my Wi-Fi rarely drops. I mean, they're not cheap, but I don't pay the bill, so I don't really complain about that too much. And I say their customer service is lousy, but again, because I'm not the account holder, I don't have to deal with them. And their service is usually pretty reliable. I've never had Sky. I've only ever had Virgin. Or, no, tell a lie. A previous property that came with TalkTalk. It started with Virgin, and then they switched to TalkTalk, which was shit. Really bad. It was massively worse than the Virgin that we'd had before. But I'm guessing significantly cheaper. Right, Ocon is in trouble because Leclerc is just 1 second behind and will probably be in DRS range at the end of this lap. And Stroll is right there as well. This is the fight for 3rd. It's definitely going to be advantage to Stroll and Leclerc. Red Bulls are not completely out of it. But I think it's realistically going to be between Leclerc and Stroll. Leclerc has got the DRS. And so does Stroll. So they will close up massively here. Oh, Bottas drops himself into the picture. And immediately dives out the way. Ricardo just in front of these two now. Close enough to get DRS. He needs it if he's going to hold his position on this lap. He is just. It's getting a little bit crowded. Stroll's having a push. He wants that third place. And the traffic was not kind to Charles there. You could see Stroll take the initiative here. If he can get past Leclerc, if Leclerc doesn't get into the DRS range, then Stroll will jump him on the main straight. And then we'll be in DRS range of Ocon and potentially be able to get him next lap. Leclerc needs that 1 second. And we've got a yellow flag. He just got into range. There's a lock-up for Yuki.
This one is involving Yuki Tsunoda. Things look fine.
We were praising
here.
him last night, saying he's not been making mistakes that often, and that's another mistake in another Grand Prix.
To the tyres.
Yeah, maybe he's reverting to type. Yeah, you can see even on this reduced tyre pace, where we look after the car, we're still lapping faster than almost everybody else on the track right now. Only Gasly is lapping faster than us. Oh, and Schumacher. Apparently Schumacher did a 1:17.2. Mick Schumacher was, well, he's not anymore, but he was the fastest man on track for a brief moment. And Gasly pumps out a 1:16.5. He's putting those soft tyres to good use, trying to hunt down Fernando, who is hunting down Alonso, and quite quickly as well. So we have another good scrap on our hands at the end there. Surely now Ocon is going to get got. Survives into turn 1, and Leclerc get him into turn 2. No. Ocon hanging on. And the longer he can keep them behind him, the better his chances of hanging on for the podium are going to be. His tyres will start to become an issue. There you can see Leclerc's tyres down to 58%. Stroll's tyres are better. And the longer Ocon holds them up, the the higher the chance of the Red Bulls getting back into contention as well.
Surface temps are still cool all round.
A little way off at the moment, 4 seconds for Perez, another 3.5 to 4 seconds for Verstappen. As Zhou gets lapped. And Leclerc is again vulnerable now. I think Stroll might have a crack at Leclerc here. Between our two drivers, holding steady at about 6.5 seconds. Been no real drama from either of our two here. Kept it clean, kept it consistent. And Stroll makes the move. So Stroll needs to use that little bit of extra tyre he's got now to really push onto the back of Ocon. Otherwise Leclerc will just try and retake the place again. And he is pushing. He keeps coming down with every little bit of tarmac. And it gets eaten up by these two. Down to just 1.1, 1.2. It's going to be close. Might just get the DRS here. Did he sneak in? He did. And we got another yellow flag. And it's Yuki again. Yeah, Yuki's starting to struggle.
Here we are, we're looking at turn 11. And that's where they slightly run off the track. Perhaps a little...
Stroll's going to get him, I think. He's on a push right now. I think he's going to take him on this lap. Oh, and Bottas or Zhou, which one of the two Alphas was that, just unlapped themselves against Charles Leclerc. It was Zhou. Zhou is no, it is Bottas. Bottas has unlapped himself against the Ferrari. He is on those soft tyres. How long can he stay ahead before the blue flags tell him to pull over again? Oh, he's already been blue flagged. Here comes Stroll. He's going to give up the DRS to Ocon here. He stays side by side. That's a bad move from Stroll. Made a mistake there. Checking on Fernando. He's on the back of Sainz, but Gasly is all over the back of him on those soft tyres. We're going to see some movement here. I think Alonso is going to start to struggle now to actually get past Sainz. His tyres starting to drop off.
Over 5 laps.
Gap between R2 is up to 7 seconds now. Hamilton has just had that edge this weekend. Russell is losing his grip on the championship. He's still going to be in front, so this will be 2 wins in a row for Lewis. His 3rd win of the season if things stay as they are, and the gap will come down. But Russell took the fastest lap away from his teammate, so that means it'll only come down by 7 points. No, 6 points. Stroll all over the back of Ocon. Still can't find a way through. And there's traffic coming up as well. We'll have to skip to that in a second as Alonso has a look at Sainz. He's running out of time. Can he get him into turn 2? No, he can't. Let's skip back to the front because there is back markers here. Oh, Leclerc has dropped way off the back. Yeah, his tyres are gone. His tyres are done. So Leclerc is out of the equation. So now it's a straight fight between Ocon and Stroll for the podium. Leclerc just hasn't been able to keep up. And look at Bottas. He's all over the back of Stroll trying to get back through. And he has a lunge. He has a lunge on Stroll. Oh. And then has to get blue flagged. But all that traffic has played into Ocon's hands again. He's now comfortably ahead of Stroll again. So Bottas is riding these two beautifully because it's brought him all the way up. He's now having a look at Magnussen. And given the pace, I think he might be able to take Magnussen. That'll be, yeah, there we go, got him. That's P12 for Bottas. Fortunately, that's as far as he's going to get. Norris is just 30 seconds in. He's too far away, but...
3 to go.
Look how quickly he's dropped Magnussen. There's a second clear already. And Stroll does not have DRS, so Bottas is probably going to make a move on Stroll here and get it done. He's going for it. Can he get Ocon? Oh, can Bottas decide who's going to get on the podium here? If he gets in front of Ocon and then gets blue flagged, Ocon is sorry, Bottas is flying right now. How much more pace has he actually got left in that car? Because he's just tearing up the track. Oh, he gets blue flagged. But did that slow down Stroll? I don't know. Stroll is fighting back. We're just ignoring our two drivers because there's no drama there at all, but it's all here in this fight for third place. And Bottas is trying to throw himself into the mix. Perez now on the back of Leclerc. He's within a second almost. And Leclerc is trying to close the gap back up to Stroll. Bottas is overtaking shenanigans. He's going to have another go. He's going to have another go at Stroll here. Not quite close enough this time round. Stroll looks to be pushing. He's just suddenly chopped that gap down to almost nothing. There's Leclerc in the background, 2.5 seconds off. Perez right on his gearbox. These last 2 laps. There's going to be some drama somewhere. Gasly gets past Alonso. So Alonso drops to P10. Lewis starts his final lap. He's 7.5 seconds clear. It's do or die time for Stroll. Has to make the move now. Can Ocon hold on? Can Leclerc hold on against Perez? Ocon has held on. I think that could be it. I don't think Stroll has got the tyres to force the move anywhere else. I think that's it. Leclerc is hanging on for dear life against Checo. And there's a big disparity in tyres, so it's not impossible for Perez to make a lunge and get him at the end of the lap. I don't think Stroll has got the tyres or the gap to do that. In fact, Ocon looks to be stretching away. As Lewis wins the Grand Prix, George takes second.
It's a win for Lewis Hamilton.
A result like that absolutely speaks to all the hard work they've put into their career.
And it's back-to-back wins
phenomenal
for Lewis. But who's going to get third? It's going to be Ocon. And Perez make a lunge on Leclerc. He's not close enough. Leclerc will just hang on. Ocon is going to be on the podium, just ahead of Lance Stroll. Leclerc will take 5th, Perez 6th, Max will take 7th. Alonso's got back past Gasly. He's flying. Can he make a lunge on Sainz? I don't think he's close enough either. So decent recovery for Alonso after his misfortunes here today. Sainz will finish 8th ahead of Alonso in 9th. Gasly will round out the top 10, and then Norris 15 seconds back. And Bottas did play a part in deciding the podium there with his constant moves against Stroll. If he hadn't done that, I think Stroll might possibly have been able to get Ocon.
Wow, what a fantastic drive from Lewis Hamilton.
An inspired strategy from the team there. What a well-deserved win that was.
But just look at this. The overwhelming excitement for those celebrating this achievement. The highly decorated record breaker from Stevenage once again taking to the podium.
And that's excellent, seeing both the team's drivers up there on the podium together.
And as far as those three are concerned, well, they'll be leaving Budapest hungry for more.
Crofty in his little book
and as
of
proceedings
shit
start
jokes
to
there.
wind down here, what will Mercedes have made of this result, Karun?
I doubt they could be much happier. A win and a podium place. What a great way to round out the weekend.
And that then marks the end of our time here in Hungary.
Next time, the teams will be adding another year to the legend of Spa-Francorchamps. Anything can happen at the Belgian Grand Prix.
Well, there we go, confirmation of the final result. A win for Lewis. That's back-to-back wins for him, and will help him close down George in the in the Drivers' Championship. Although George did get the fastest lap, so it's only 6 points gained. George gaining 2 places, starting 4th, finishing 2nd. Good race for Ocon. Look at that, starting in 11th and finishing on the podium. Great race for him. Stroll gaining 3 places. Disappointing for Charles. He actually looked quite pacey at the start, but just fell away towards the end. Didn't have the pace. Red Bull, again, disappointing for Red Bull. They both lose a position from where they started. 6th and 7th in the end. That is some decent points for them. Carlos gaining 2 places, gets 8th place and 4 more points for him. Disappointing for Alonso. He was a threat in this Grand Prix, and then that lockup. And then I think he had a dodgy stop as well. Yeah, it did not help him at all. He broke his wing, didn't he? Yeah, that was it. So he had to change his front wing. Gasly loses a place but stays in the top 10 and gets the last point. If we scroll a little bit further down, you can see Norris dropping out of the top 10 and finishing in 11th. Good race for Bottas. His little hijinks at the end there certainly cost Stroll the podium. Good race for Hulkenberg as well, gaining 5 places. Tsunoda had a bit of a shocker this afternoon, dropping 6 places, and multiple lockups for Yuki. Not a good afternoon for him, and another bad race for Oscar, who broke his wing. Into the Drivers' Championship. There you see George holds his lead. The gap comes down again. It's now just 15 points between the two drivers. It is getting closer. 7 wins and 10 podiums for George this season, along with 4 fastest laps. Lewis now with win number 3 has 11 podiums as well, and 6 fastest laps. Max holds on to 3rd, Perez holds 4th. Stroll does close the gap on Checo there to just 5 points, and some much needed points for Charles Leclerc, as he was in danger of slipping, but he does still lose a little bit of ground to Lance. Ocon moves up to 7th as Alonso has a bit of a shocker. So we actually have someone splitting the 2 Alpines for a change. And Sainz is in 10th with just 48 points. It's been a season to forget for Sainz. He's got 3 DNFs this season. And the ones he has finished, he hasn't scored a lot of points in. And then we see the rest of the table. And once again, it's the usual suspects yet to score. Ricciardo, Schumacher and Bottas, although maybe Bottas has got the potential to sneak a point if things get a little bit crazy later in the season. Into the Constructors' Championship, another maximum 44 points for Mercedes. And that puts us a long way clear of Red Bull, who only get 14 points, but Aston Martin missed the chance to really close the gap down a bit more, as they only get 14 points, and Ferrari also only get 14 points. So lots of missed opportunities for teams to close up the gap on their competitors here. Alpine with 16 points actually do gain a bit of ground on all the 3 teams above them, but it's only 2 points. They are 30 points off Ferrari, and no points scored for any other teams. In the pit stop challenge, Lewis had the fastest stop by 0.05 of a second over George. 2.2 seconds for the Red Bull drivers. They were doing 2.1s at Silverstone, so they dipped slightly. Same for the McLarens. They are in the low 2.2s or mid 2.2s. Alpine are up there as well. 2 Ferraris in the top 10, and Stroll rounds out the final points paying position. So in the standings, that's another maximum points for Mercedes. Again, comfortably clear of Red Bull. We're at 209 points clear of them there. And Red Bull extend their gap over McLaren. It's looking like Red Bull are confirming 2nd place. McLaren at the moment are probably going to be a good bet for 3rd. Ferrari and Alpine are going to be battling for 4th, and then AlphaTauri and Aston Martin are scrapping at the moment for 6th. Be interesting to see if either of those 2 teams can actually start pulling out some significant points. There is the pit stop report, and there you can see that sticky wheel nut for George, costing him a couple of extra seconds on his 2nd stop there, which was the point that Farah said, "See you later." Let's take a look at the driver reports. 5 successful overtakes, 10 failed for George. 4 successful defences, 3 failed. Pretty quiet afternoon for Lewis in some respects. 3 successful overtakes, 1 failed. 7 successful defences, only failed once. And I think that was on the 1st lap or 2nd lap when he got overtaken by Leclerc. We did get some more experience for Teo as well. I don't actually know if putting our reserve drivers in increases their developments, or whether they are now much more reliant on the race sim. I would imagine it must do. I mean, we knew it did last time around in 22, but I don't actually know. Have to do a bit of digging in on that one, I think. So, driver bonuses. We pay out 500 grand for Lewis for winning, 25 grand for George for his top 3 finish, and we achieve our sponsor goals. So the performance targets, we complete the finish position streak along with the fastest lap and qualifying positions incentives, and then we achieve all of our guarantees as well. So it's another 5.1 in the bank. Very nice. Especially considering we had less than 1 million going into this Grand Prix. Right, spare side pods are made. And spare suspension is made. So that should be it for parts now. Unless a lot of stuff breaks here with the aero inspection. Let's have a look. Oh, we've got the results of the sporting changes as well. Let's have a look. So, car inspection. The front wing has failed and the rear wing's failed on Lewis's car. So, we'll be keeping an eye out for talented F2 and F3 drivers. Pair back has a lot of potential. Let's have a look at pair back. I think this might be a new gen. Because there's no nationality shown, so that usually, not always, but usually an indicator that that's a new gen character. I don't recognise him. Let's have a look at the F2 results. You can see Jack Crawford getting the win, Arthur Leclerc getting the podium alongside Clement Novalak. And we have the results of the sporting regs. So we voted to reduce, I think it was aero time, wasn't it? And look at this. It's gone through. No, it hasn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it has gone through. The tiebreaker has gone through. Hang on a minute. What was the change? Or am I getting this mixed up? Let's have a look. It said no change, but there should be a change. Look. It should be a reduction in wind tunnel and CFD hours. That was the proposal. It was tied. The tiebreaker said yes. Effects from my response, no effect. Well, I mean, it would normally actually show the actual result of the changes, but it's not. So I'm assuming that those are actually going to apply, but we'll have to check the rules and regulations in just a second. But yeah, as predicted, Haas, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo all voted against regulations that would help them. See, the smaller teams, they have this habit of voting against regulations that benefit them. It's very strange. Right, who was it I was going to look at? I was going to look for something at the end of the race. I forget what it was. I'm scrolling back through the chat to see if I can see what it was. But I did say to someone to mention something at the end and we would check it out. Not seeing any clues. I see VXR has deleted some comments, so it might be one of those. Yeah, I'm not seeing what it was. Oh well, never mind. The boardroom refurb is complete just in time for our mid-season break coming up after Spa. That's good. Which is tomorrow. That has come around very, very quickly. Let's sort out these car parts. There we go. That's swapped. That's swapped out. So, let's have a look. Going into the race, we have a spare front wing. Only one. I have to trust that that's going to be enough. I think that... Oh, actually, that might not be one spare. It might be... Let's have a look. No, it is. It's only one spare front wing. How many spare rear wings do we have? Still loads. Yeah, so we're fine on rear wings. Just got to be careful we don't destroy front wings this weekend at Spa, or else we could be in trouble. We've got new parts coming in the mid-season break, so I don't really want to make any more now. What was it I was going to check at the end? I don't remember. I'm going to have a look at the, where is it, board? Rules and regulations. Let's just double check 2025 changes for sporting changes. So yes, they are going to come into effect. You can see there the reduction in hours and the increase in hours for the teams at the bottom, and that'll be the same for wind tunnel as well. So you can see there a loss of wind tunnel hours there and a gain in wind tunnel hours there. Right, are we scouting anything at the moment? We are not. I can confirm as well that we will lose all the scouted information when we switch to another team. Right, let's see. 6.2 mil. Race sim is shut down at the moment. Is anything broken? We know that some stuff was close. Nothing here yet. Yes, there we go. The helipad has broken. We'll get that refurbed. That won't kick in until Zandvoort, unfortunately. Car park development. We don't have any slots available yet, but we will have some money to burn for that. Although we might throw some money on a new upgrade for a facility. We've got a sprint weekend coming up at Spa. Let's advance time for that. And there we go. That is it for tonight. So we've had another comfortable race. It's been a while actually, so that's the easiest race we've had in a while, mainly because the AI just did silly things and took themselves out of the equation. I'm looking at you in particular, Fernando. As you can see, massive lead in the Constructors' Championship. I'm not really feeling any threat from Red Bull at all in that. And again, no threat from the Red Bulls in the Drivers' Championship at the moment, but things are hotting up between George and Lewis. That is win number 3 for Lewis tonight, and the gap now down to just 15 points with 34 points available in the next race for the winner of the sprint, fastest lap and the race at Spa. So we could see some big changes. If one of our drivers has a big whoopsie in the sprint, that is potentially 8 points lost against their opponent. Will be interesting to see what happens. And then after that we'll have our board assessment for the first half of the year as well, and then we'll have the mid-season break where we can go ahead and develop maybe some more parts and try and get everything new on the car as well. So join me same time tomorrow as usual, 9 PM UK time, for Belgium and our sprint weekend at Spa. Until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager very soon.